Thank you, Margaret. Dawn Williams. Where is she? There she is. Dawn Williams makes a living and has made a living writing for more than 30 years. Presently she is an associate publisher for Senior News 50 and Better, which last year received National Journalism Awards under direction. Her humorous column Interlude has been picked up for syndication at last. She has also written a young adult novel, Addie's Story, which she hopes to publish very soon. Her hobbies, interests, and passions are innumerable and only occasionally get her into trouble. Please welcome Dawn.
There seem to be multiple holidays occurring simultaneously this time of year. Chief among them, of course, are the commemorations of the most basic tenets of a number of faith traditions. And then there's what the other 95% of America engages in, the annual quest to see who can max out their credit cards fastest and deplete their internal coping resources first. She who dies with the most accumulated holiday nervous breakdowns wins. So far, I think, I have a good shot at the title. Most of us try to spread peace and goodwill among our peeps and keep in mind the reason behind the celebration. But sometimes things get a little out of hand. Like the year we actually had Jesus take up residence in our home. My then teenage daughter Stephanie and her friends discovered that their male peers had stolen the figure from a local nativity scene. They were outraged at the utter inappropriateness and blatant lack of respect the boys had shown. So naturally, they stole the life-size figure from the boys, and for some reason brought it to my house instead of returning it to its parents in the manger. Waking up to the sound of urgent whispers that night, I discovered a gaggle of girls huddled over something on the couch. The sea of humanity parted as I approached, revealing their contraband. Baby Jesus lay on a pile of laundry I'd forgotten about folding. What the heck is he doing here, I asked. In the frenzy of shopping and baking and nursing the internal bruising I'd acquired when I fell off the ladder while stringing up the lights, I was so not prepared for company, especially company of this magnitude. The girls told me their tale, righteous indignation painted on their faces and punctuating their words. I told them in no uncertain terms that, while I admired their intent, if not their execution, my home really was no place for a God, and they should return him to his owners immediately. But a blizzard was raging, snow accumulating faster than a kid rips open the package containing his new iPod on Christmas morning. Tomorrow, I said, first thing tomorrow, he goes back. And then I went to find temporary accommodations for the unexpected guest. Same story, different century. But the storm raged on, and the trip to the scene of the crime was put on hold. I awoke a few days later to discover the contraband god sharing toddler Susie's crib with her. Jesus, she said reverently, pointing to the crib. I could just picture the conversation a couple of decades in the future. Susie reclining on a couch in some shrink's office, trying to figure out why immortal men just couldn't measure up. This is just creepy, I told Steffi and her friends. He has to go back. The girls agreed and solemnly promised to make it so, preferably before Christmas, so he wouldn't miss his scheduled appearance. People were counting on him. I returned to my frenzy of last-minute preparations and forgot about God, as many Americans do this time of year, until a few days before Christmas. A friend stopped by to exchange gifts. I went to my secret hiding place to get hers, and found baby Jesus nestled among the wrapped presents I stowed in the closet. "What are you doing here?" I exclaimed. God is often found where you least expect him, apparently. What I also didn't expect was the rouge smeared on his cheeks, gloss on his lips, and hot pink nail polish, more or less on his tiny fingernails. It looked like a 2-year-old had applied it, which was definitely the case, because there stood Susie with a smile on her face and hot pink nail polish everywhere. "Stephanie," I bellowed. This was the last straw. Stephanie came and explained the cause of her little sister's divergence into heavenly cosmetology, as my eyes bugged out and the veins throbbed visibly in my temples. Finding Susie using the figure as a toy, Steffi didn't know how to explain the concept of respect to a 2-year-old. Instead, she said, Be nice to baby Jesus. Okay, I guess a manicure loosely falls under the category of being nice. But I had all I could take by that point. My blood pressure was off the chart. My nerves were shot from being confronted by God when I was least prepared for it. That's it, I shouted. Don't you realize it's Christmas? I have presents to wrap, cookies to bake, and parties to throw. I don't have time for Jesus. Take him and get him out of my house. We heard a gasp and turned to see my friend, still waiting for her gift, staring at me as if I'd suddenly sprouted horns and was holding a pitchfork. I think I'll just be going, she said, hurrying to the door. Happy holidays. I'd like to say I've come a long way since those chaos-filled days, and perhaps I've made a little progress, but yes, chaos still reigns. However, my perspective has improved. Whatever your religious beliefs surrounding the winter holidays, we have in common a desire to share the peace and goodwill that are part of all traditions. In spite of the hustle and bustle, maxed out credit cards, and overscheduled calendars, the holidays are about peace, joy, and hope for the future. Whatever your faith, however you celebrate, here's wishing you all good things this season and in the new year.